This is where children belong. Welcome to spot of our worshiping throng. Water, God's word, bread, and cup of prayer and song. This is where children belong. So we're starting something new, and you guys know this. But it's the fifth Sunday of a month, and that only happens a few times a year that there's a fifth Sunday. But when there's a fifth Sunday, kids are staying in grown-up church, right? We've talked about this. And tell me, why are kids staying in grown-up church? Why? To learn what? Yeah, to learn what it's like to be in grown-up church. Because someday, you'll be in grown-up church, right? So we're not doing it because I don't want to spend time with you upstairs, right? We're doing it so that we can learn what it's like to be in grown-up church. But you know what? It's more than you guys learning from the grown-ups. It's also the grown-ups learning from you. Did you know you have something to teach the grown-ups? Did you know that? Yeah, because here's what kids already know, grown-ups, and you know what I'm going to talk about here. Kids know how to have fun at all moments. Kids do not have regard for schedules, timelines, anything. Because I know this, Reed and Graham. I know this every morning before school. I know that there's always one more football to throw, one more football to kick. There's always something to do that's more fun than getting backpacks and shoes. Is that true? That's so boring. You guys know how to have fun and live in the moment. You guys know how to do that really, really well. Grown-ups, we lose that, don't we, as we age? We lose that ability to see the world with imagination and excitement and see all the great things about the world. We lose that as we get older. As grown-ups grow up, we learn we forget what it is to see the magic in the world. But here's something that I know grown-ups know and you guys know, that sometimes yucky, painful, ouchy, unfair things happen in the world. Is that true? You guys know that, don't you? And grown-ups, you definitely know that there is sometimes a lot of unfair, painful, yucky stuff that happens. Ugh. And in fact, there's this book in the Bible. It's in the Old Testament. It's called the book of Ecclesiastes. And it's not the happiest book. Let's be honest. It's not a cheerful, hopeful, filled with hope kind of book. In fact, if I were to sum up the book, it would sound something like this. Life is unfair, it's hard, and it's temporary. And sometimes life doesn't make sense. Have you ever felt that way, that sometimes life is unfair? Yes. When mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, when brother or sister, when you get too much sugar. That happened last night, didn't you? That felt unfair, that I had that last piece of cake and you didn't. That felt unfair. Mm-hmm. Or when brother or sister or somebody like maybe does something unkind and mom and dad or grandma and grandpa don't see it, and you're like, oh, it's so unfair that they did something to me. They did something and mom and dad didn't see it. That felt unfair. Well, in the book of Ecclesiastes, the author knows exactly what that feels like when things are unfair. And they know that sometimes life is so, so hard. And in fact, there's this word that keeps coming up in Ecclesiastes in Hebrew. Remember, Old Testament, not written in English, right? It was written in Hebrew. And so this week I had to call Pastor Robert because guess what? I don't speak Hebrew. And I said, what's this word hevel? Please help me understand what this word hevel, what it means. And he was able to explain it to me. And what it means is in the book of Ecclesiastes, the author keeps saying, life is like a vapor. So I think this morning, Reedy, was it you this morning that when we got into the car, you did that and you could see your breath? Was that today? Yeah. And sometimes, do you know what I'm talking about when you get in the car in the morning before school and you go, and you can see your breath? It's like a vapor. Like the second you blow it out, you can see how quickly it goes away. That's what they're kind of saying, that life is so fast. And it's just like that vapor. It happens so fast. And a lot of people will tell you to have joy in your life, you got to have these things. Get a lot of stuff. Get the Xbox, get your ears pierced, get an American Girl doll. You got to have all this stuff, and you got to have some friends, and you got to be healthy, and then you'll be happy. But the author in Ecclesiastes says, no, 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 no. It's not about getting all the stuff, and it's not about having a perfect life. We're the happiest when we realize that life is sometimes really tricky, and it goes by so fast. And so we have to enjoy every single moment. And so grown-ups, today, I want you to watch these kids as a reminder that life goes by like a vapor. And these kids know exactly what it means to live in that joy every single minute. You guys know what it means to live in that joy, to live that life of just living in this exact moment. So watch them today. Watch them. They don't care about the schedules. They don't care about our routines and what we're supposed to do. They're going to be up here. They're sitting up here. And you know what? They might be a little distracting. Let's be honest. They might be a little bit noisier than a normal Sunday. But they have so much joy, and they're going to teach us what it means to live in this moment, to run around, be wiggly, have the wiggles, and live a life of pure, pure joy. So instead of running down the aisle to go upstairs, we're going to go right over here. So let's do it.